Welcome, sweeties. In this video we're going to be doing Kemy Hair. They sent over a nice wig for us to try. Inside you get wig caps, lashes, an edge brush / comb, and we're going to be using the BW2 by Clairol. I'm also using their 40 developer. I always wash out the bleach with a neutralizing shampoo, and I just get this from the beauty supply. So for my clarifying shampoo, I just use this kind I get from Walmart. It's about $4 or $5 and it works great. And you will need an applicator to apply the bleach. So on to the wig. This is a 13x4 kinky curly 24-inch wig. It is super soft, by the way, like straight out of the pack. It's really pretty and it's really thick. So here's what the frontal looks like. And you get your normal wig construction, 2 combs in the top, 1 in the back, and the adjustable straps. So this is the frontal and how the knots are. Very small, very pleasant. I really like it. So on to the bleaching part. What I usually do is take 2 full cups, meaning the powder is not even with the top of the cup. It's kind of mounded up. I take 2 cups like that. I take 1 cup of developer and I start mixing that into the powder. Now that's going to be a little bit chalky. It's not going to be, all the powder is not even going to be in the developer, okay? You're going to then pour like half a cup. And you're going to ease that in until you get a good thick pasty consistency, like toothpaste, okay? Then you start to apply it. You see that's chalky after the 1 cup. You're going to either put in that whole half cup, or you're going to start just pouring in a little bit until it gets to the right consistency. And I left this on for 15 minutes. So when you're applying the bleach, press it in, but don't press it in so that it's like seeping through and it's like a good portion on the hair. It needs to be just on the bottom of the lace with a little bit of pressure, okay? And I didn't really care about getting it inside of the cap because it couldn't hurt anything. So I'm going to just show you really quickly my process of plucking. You see I just pull down a very thin bit, like baby hairs almost, right? And then I'm just going to plug back straight into the hairline. Straight into the hairline. And then you're going to see me part off a slither more of hair. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just pluck into that hairline. We're trying to get a good gradient effect, okay? Now after I part it off maybe 3 or 4 times, you're going to notice that I turn those tweezers sideways. Because now we're not as close to the front and it's getting a little bit thicker. And I need to take out a little bit more hair than I was when I was pulling straight back, okay? So as you can see, once I part off the 3rd and 4th time, I'm going to turn them sideways. And that's just going to help me get the same gradient effect, but a little bit quicker. Because now the hair is getting thick as we're going back deeper into that frontal. And I just keep doing that. And then you'll see me comb it back. And then I basically start all over, kind of pulling back into that hairline. You're going to just kind of keep repeating those steps until you get a good effect. One of the major keys of plucking is to keep moving. Do not stay in one spot too long. That's why you see I'm plucking, just keep moving down the line, keep moving down the line, going back and forth, because you do not want a bald spot that will blow everything. And another thing is, as you can see, I've been doing it for a while at this point. And I was tired of doing it. That's how you kind of know that you're doing right. When you don't see bald spots, but you're getting a gradient effect and you're getting tired. Because it's a repetitive thing to get it kind of going in the direction it needs to go in. And I just gave y'all some bits and pieces because I was tweezing for a good 30 to 40 minutes at least. But this is kind of what it looks like in the end. So on to my ball cap, I just start off by putting 2 little holes for my ears. Start off with a small hole. You don't want to cut it too big because it will start to rise way too far up. So just get your ears through to make sure it's flat all the way around. You can easily use Got To Be or anything like that if you choose to, but I find that my ball cap looks the absolute best when I use glue. So I go ahead and glue it down, because every time I use Got To Be, I be fighting with it. It ends up lifting and it just don't look as good. It doesn't look as bald as it should. So now I'm gonna take my foundation and foundation brush and just start blending that out, kind of meshing it with my skin to give it a really good bald head effect. So when I cut it off, I just cut it down as close to my skin as possible. Please do not cut yourself, because that is possible too. And the little bits in the back, I just take them together and tie them in a knot, and that's that. So just take the foundation and the foundation brush again and hit that lace, blend it out real good so that the lace will be good and tinted, because you can see that lace on my skin will be looking crazy. So just make sure you're also going a little bit past the hairline, so any lace you may leave, it will still look good. So now we're getting into the application phase. I'm just putting my glue on. So with the first layer, I just put a decent amount, not too much, put it on the cap, put a little bit on the skin, blend it out real good and even. And then you'll see me blow dry it until it's clear, okay? Not completely dry though, but it's clear. Then I will move on to my second layer, same amount, blend it out, a little on the cap, a little on the skin, good even layer. Now when I blow dry this one, it's gonna be clear. It's gonna be tacky, but in some spots it's okay if it is still maybe white or whatever color it changes to, you know. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my wig on top of the glue, press it down really good, and put on my elastic band. And I also want to say, before you even put the glue on your head and all that, cut the ear tabs off. I usually do, but it slipped my mind. But just make sure before you put your elastic band on that they are gone. Because if you don't, then your wig will not be properly laid down around that ear area, and that can lead to lifting, and it just won't look as good. So now I'm cutting off the lace. You pretty much know how that goes. Cut it into 3 sections. Use a little jagged motion as you're cutting it, and voila. So after I cut off my lace, I go in with Got To Be and I just spray around my hairline really good. And it's just to kind of get rid of any last minute cast that you may see. Or maybe it's some lace you didn't even notice was like kind of lifting. It's just a last minute security. It's like final cement of everything. Now this step is if like you're installing a wig like I am and I already have on makeup and I've been playing around my forehead, wiping it off, you know, messing it up. I'm just going to go back with my foundation and I'm going to tap onto my lace and skin at the same time. And then you see me come back with my contour shades and everything and just blending everything back as if it was never messed up. So really quickly, while I finish up styling this hair, I'm going to tell you my final thoughts. I really do think the company did a great job with this wig. Super soft. For it to be kinky curly, it was so soft. No bad odor. They gave you the 24 inches, I feel like, in the curly state. That's sometimes hard to find. And when I stretch that hair out, it's hitting my hip bone. So just very pretty. I will be bringing this back again in the spring and do like a little reinstall and maybe style it in a wet style. It was actually cold this day and I just didn't want to wet it because I had to leave and I didn't have time for it to dry. So yes, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, hit like, hit the bell, and I will see you guys in the next one.